Welcome back to another episode of the Clever Angle Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode with Griffin. It was a lot of fun getting to talk to him, and one of my personal goals for 2026 is to bring you guys a podcast episode every week. So it might not be an interview every week, but I'm trying something different and doing some solo episodes. So today we're going to be talking about work-life balance. A phrase that everybody has probably heard and everybody has probably tried to achieve. But why does it feel like that no matter how hard we try, that goal is just not achievable? There's not enough time in the day to do everything that we want to do. There's always things left undone. Part of that, I think, is how social media has shaped the way that we live life. It's a constant comparison game of I'm not doing enough. This person has a more exciting life than me. We need to go do this. We need to go do that. And it leads to exhaustion. It leads to not feeling good enough. And quite frankly, I don't think work-life balance is truly obtainable. And as I continue to try to navigate through adulthood, I've realized something. The problem isn't with us. It isn't with me. It isn't with you. It's the goal that we've been chasing. As a parent of 3 kids, I think work-life balance becomes even more of something that you strive for as you get kids. You know, as they grow older and they get into more things, you have to be very particular about the things you say yes to. I remember early on in being a parent, we thought that we didn't have any time. It was the year 2017. Me and my wife had just had our first daughter, and it was just her, me, and my daughter. And I remember feeling so rushed and out of balance because so much of my time was being spent differently as we were losing sleep and preparing to raise this little girl. Now, 8 years later, we find ourselves with 3 kids with even less time to do those things. And we look back on that time, man, what were we doing with all our time? Now we've got ball games to go to. We've got practices to go to. We have workouts that we try to get done. We have hobbies that we want to pour in time to. I've got this podcast that I want to do. There has been so many excuses for why I haven't done the podcast. Like, I don't have time. But the truth behind it all is, what's the real reason that I haven't done it? On paper, you would want to put in equal or adequate amounts of time into all of the areas of your life that you think hold value. So I want to put as much time as I can into my kids, into my marriage, into my faith, into my family, into my friends. And it can seem like that's never going to be a thing. So what happens? What happens when we try to achieve this thing and it just seems impossible? Well, one area of our life may feel neglected. So you might be at work and you went to the gym and you went to your Bible study and you're doing all these things, are doing well at home, but now you feel like your work has taken a step back. You're not as focused at work as you normally are. So what do? Now you throw some focus into work. All right, I'm skipping the gym. And I'm going into the office early because I'm trying to get that promotion. I'm trying to be noticed by my peers. Patrick got a raise. I'm trying to get a raise. So now I start pouring more time into my career. So what happens? Now my gym suffers. Now my family is feeling me be a little bit more distant because I'm working longer hours. Now I'm starting to feel bad at home. I'm feeling great at work. Now I'm starting to feel bad at home. And then you have a realization moment. I'm doing everything I'm told, and I still feel behind. Trying to balance everything equally made me feel like I was failing everywhere. Is anyone that's listening to this, do you feel that way? Maybe not all the time, but sometimes. Do you feel that way? I would reckon if you were listening to this episode, the answer is probably yes in some area of your life. And I'm here to tell you that I think work-life balance is the wrong goal because balance implies equal time, equal energy, equal attention. And life doesn't work like that. Life demands different energy levels in different seasons. You might be really busy in the summer with work. So your summer months are going to be really work intensive. So in the summer, you might not go to the gym as much. That's okay. There's no shame for not being a gym rat like your favorite influencer online. And trust me, I'm preaching to the choir. But certain seasons require different parts of you. There might be a season in the winter where you've got sick kids and you've been really working hard to get where you are from a climb the corporate ladder standpoint. And now you have to step away from your job for a few days. And you have to tend to your family. You have to stay home with your kids. And that is okay. That is okay. Different seasons for different reasons. And that's okay. Once you stop feeling that shame of, hey, I don't know the ins and outs of anyone else's life but my own. And that's okay. Everything's not going to be even. Everything's not going to be in balance. And that's okay. Balance sounds like it's a fair distribution of your time. But you have to realize that life isn't fair. My kids are going to get more of me than my friends. They're going to get more of me than my work. At times, they're going to get more of me than my wife. And that's okay. It's not going to be like that forever. But there might be a season that's going to require more energy from you than another. So I think that when talking about this topic, we shouldn't strive for balance. We should strive for alignment. You are going to have heavy weeks of work and you're going to have light weeks of work. How are you going to align your time? I honestly think that you should have intentional imbalance. There's going to be some weeks, like those busy work weeks for me in the summer, that I'm going to have to lean hard into work. And that's okay, because I know that there's a reason that I'm expending energy during that time. And then there is going to be weeks where I lean into life a lot more. But here are some questions that you should ask yourself. Does my work make my life better? Is the work that you're doing make your life better? Another question you can ask yourself: does my life allow space for growth? Balance, ask for equality. Alignment, ask for intention. When we came into 2026, there's a lot of goals that I set for myself and for my family, as many of you. I wanted to do one podcast episode a week. I'm only going to achieve that goal if I have intention. I have to be intentional every single week if that's something that I want to accomplish. And that's okay. That might mean, hey, instead of going to the gym on Tuesday, when I have time, I'm going to record a podcast episode. And that is okay. I shouldn't feel like a failure for being intentional. So we're going to do something different this week. I'm going to give you some things that you can ask yourself as you continue on throughout your week. What matters most this week? What matters most this week? For me, the things that matter most this week is getting this podcast episode out to you. That's what matters most this week to me. What can wait? What are some things that you can intentionally put off? The next is we're going to monitor our energy levels. When am I the most sharp? Some people operate the best in the morning. Some people operate the best in the afternoons or at night. When am I the most sharp? When you're the most sharp, you can be the most intentional. If you're like, man, I really don't like working out after work because I have a physically demanding job, and by the time I get off, I just want to relax, but I really want to work out. Work out in the morning. It might start getting up early, but if it's something you want to do, you have to be intentional about it. When are you the most drained? I'm the most drained probably around 9 to 11 p.m. So there's like a window after I get off. I'm like, okay, if you want my best, it's going to be early in the morning. It's going to be early evening. Anything after that, I don't want to clean. I don't want to cook. I don't want to pick up anything. I just want to chill until I fall asleep. And I know that about myself. We also have to say no temporarily. Letting one area be good enough. You ain't got to be the best at everything all the time. That's exhausting, and that's how burnout happens. So if you really want to clean your house, then clean your house. But you got to be okay with not going to the gym, maybe. Or maybe it's another trade-off. We all have the same amount of time. It's just, what are you willing to just be good enough? Like, hey, I cleaned my house, but I didn't really get to clean my car this week. The car is just going to have to be good enough. It's going to have to be good enough this week. And release yourself from that guilt of feeling like you have to be perfect in all areas. Or like, hey, I want to cook at home this week. That's the most important thing. Don't really care if my house is clean. I just want to save the money of not eating out. The house is just going to have to be good enough. So I'm going to challenge everybody here on Sunday or Monday. Let's do a 5-minute check-in. And we just ask ourselves these questions. What's most important this week? What can wait? When am I the most sharp? And when am I drained? we're all going to practice letting go of the guilt of trying to be equal energy in equal places. If everything can't be important this week, what has to be? What has to be important? I said at the beginning of the episode, I have a lot of goals. Or maybe it was the middle of the episode, I don't know. But I also said that this was the most important thing. I'm sitting here 4:30 on a Thursday when I really had the urge to do other things. But I had to be intentional with this if I wanted to stop breaking promises to myself. So just to recap, it's okay not to be equal in all areas of your life because balance isn't the real goal. So as you go out throughout your week, what matters most this week? What can wait? When am I the most sharp? When am I drained? Those are the things that we need to ask ourselves this week. Alignment changes how you judge your weeks and yourself. Balance just really isn't possible. And hey, if you think it is, more power to you. But through my experience, when I strive for balance, I end up feeling more defeated in the long run. If this episode resonated with you, do me a favor and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. My goal is to have real conversations with real people centered around careers, goals, and just living life as an adult. You don't need your life to be in balance. You need to design it 1 week at a time. My name is Tevin McGee, and this has been the Clever Angle Podcast. I'll see you next week. Until next time, peace.